Inside Story Uganda. Real source of political.
Nange kwende singo badde muzito singa radio tuyulira bwezito. Complete useless.
Kati.
Kuwereza simu yange. Oba kwoli oba toliko. Oba oli muzito.
Waliwo hakuwereza message.
Oba
tinaye kwoli.
Oba kwoli ngoli muzito.
Soko.
Wali bulide radio ngezito. Ekitegeeza tozito. Tongera ngo bya busiru bebi.
Ku simu yo kwa kuwereza nti naye kwoli.
Mutabera ko ne tufiirwachi. Nange kwende gasia.
Onyigira buli omu nalya ku simu yo omunyigira. Tuddeyo wali. Bus system ogambye nti obuzibu buli mu brakes.
Kugamba buli mu brakes.
Mu buses.
Era that's why kati
accident kweziva.
This idiot in parliament wants to create money for others. If we have registered accidents throughout Uganda, we would look at the tamaking system. Umanyi munse abasoma transport. Buli kola soyo mulimu ekinyama mulimu amayinja mupira janjawulo. Kakati eno bus za company emu. The system eri ku break awo era oli again na ulide ekibwatuka. Get the manufacturers or their agents.
Obama makanika abati.
Yes. Ne mafia tebakiriza. Mafia yo kakati the argument is nti omukazi yafuna sente ezeddwaliro. That argument mugivuddeko. Who took this money? The argument yes.
Yawebwa sente z'okuzimba eddwaliro lye Rubowa.
Baali bazikomyawo gwa kubiri.
Basigninga promissory notes.
And we are paying.
Ne bakomone mu budget nga beetaaga ate endala. Eddwaliro terizimbibwanga.
It has been died in the coffee deal. Kati how the mafias divide.
Eddwaliro lifiiridde mu kyemwanyi.
Balese kyamwanyi kati.
Ne promissory notes ze bamwanajjayo sente.
Kakati bafulumiza ne bagamba. Mama facility nagante mukiriza. Gundi. Mutubuli amasomero government ge yakira lingira amabanja. Nzijukira sente ze bafulumya okuyambako ku masomero kweteekateeka. Oba mubadde muteekamu ebirango ebyobusiru bino nti mwana asomera waka. Kugamba oba abaana basomera waka nga gye basinga okutegeerera. Tubasomesezenge waka bajje ku ssomero bakole ebigezo. Kubanga ya assume ti advertises no buli omwasobola okusomesa. Which is not true. Uli ebikola okulia ko percentage mu mawulire. Let the rest of those schools
the
government cleared. Nafe tukwate tukugenda nti gundi esomero government yali
yakuwayo ko kutoke.
Kubanga mbaga nti UPC basekerera. Twasoma wano nga government kumpi Uganda nsaleko. Naye buli lwakusatu amasomero gonna gajjanga ku ministry headquarters negakimanyi yero maize enyama beef negakimanyi obwennyanja n'amata
mu government ya UPC nawe ibyo byali ludda wanga tetubirabyeko
nasomera erevo obote yafulumya budget nti kakobogo nga naffe batusasula
abasoma olevo nga basasula etoke
we are paid
your government nga nungi
universal allowance kale kanisi bali 2000
tamerekera obitugambe ebyo
somero lyekako
tobitubulira ebyo jatulumya mutima
yagoba wo omusajja bali omita kishiza headmaster abana ne batandika okulya obubi naye every when used day schools used to send their tatars every school had a tata nabaga nti abana bava mu class the king
amasomero makadde ngalaba mu tatezo
abana obote yakyale waffe nagulawo ekyuma kyekalisizo 94 millions nakizawo bali bakikubi bano bakibamu omutima ne bagutunda najja abana bebulinda cross the king bebagabula obote nagamba omusistant jangu mukyaleko mu state house n'abaleeta mu state house board netule yesomero omusistant atwala ati abana baffe mu state house basiye bobote babakwate omusistant tumugoberawo yajja netatezi empya bamizira ya UPC Museveni akuweta olabe ng'ojijjayo
naye government ya UPC nga bayina mwoyo gwa ggwanga
hero bicycles heroes bicycles
ebyo byonna byali mu gwobote
ugambye obote yakyala ekalungu musajja yali kalungu amamita kakooza n'agamba nti bane mwali mulabye kawenkene twagala okulaba kawenkene nimugaa nti ne basimbira ebitooka kakooza yasimba mailo nga 5
nga baga kulaba kawenkene
nasimba obo baze kulaba obote ati kawenkene kitegeeza expert Namugamba nti mu Buganda mulimu abanjagala nti yesebo. Wadde gali 10 ezo okabira abantu.
Nazigaba.
Akoza ku kyalo yali wa UPC ekanga akoza akabadiki. Yaggula edduuka ly'eggaali mu Masaka. Nolwe sayina kyakuwaayo kati. Museveni kyayogedde. Museveni n'ayita abantu be yakawa amabaluwa agata bamugamba mbwe ya bbulu simanyi ya yero tekola. Tebajjula ekkololo be yasuubiza. Gwoza lwekyo basajja ba UPC balimira waawo.
UPC wali awo ku Uganda House.
Akakumbi ka UPC katuuka ku kyalo kabanga kayeru nga kakula enkokoto.
UPC kye yagabanga kyatuukanga.
Mu 1980 aba UPC mu constituency zonna babakubira ebipande. Aba UPC basoka kubawa Vespa ne babawa Isuzu pickups. Bonna nabagenda mu Buganda okugwa. Ziteke wola vi ni kusekwite zitukayo. This is why these people are saying that man can address aina 100%. Era bagandi ka Mirundi yekatane Museveni ono ayisemu. Niyo ati Museveni taina champa why? Mu byofuzi batugamba nemba baziye bagamba. Museveni Mirundi shares the same traits with Museveni. Kagati mbabazi nabagandi mwamwereka mwajja bakuba nabano kyebogedde. Naye ati Museveni taina champa why? Mu political science batugamba nti otyanga nnyo akufaanana.
Otyanga nnyo
akufaanana. Nina kubeera mu bukiiko bwabwe kidoli.
Kati bakuwa ku toke.
But this man must come back. Abere no mulimu mu government yabbe mu government. Ayima.
Esokolini.
Sikyadda.
Todde mu government.
Obujozi bw'obulenzi buno bwayitira mpagira muhozi kubutu kubira.
Wagira muhozi buku.
Bamutya.
Muhozi bamutya.
Okitegedde. Bumutya nnyo.
Nawulira ne president aganti muhozi tawuliriza corruption.
Njagala ngende. Tusinkanene Abbas. Yema anasalira maiti. Abereye ekibuli.
Tugera kusinkana ku UCC.
Ndi milioni zange $2 za zibbo ya basi.
Atenga
kana kawala nempali zako mbo tutudde tukiriza omusango gumusinze gabe batule wakalisa. Ne batwala bilioni 10. Kuluno jeneza. Gendo bike Abbas gendo bikonnyo ko ofuna amabugo. Va ku sente zange.
Fenga 10.
Yes. Kati njagala balaga katabu.
Soko tula.
Ndinawandika.
Bakaita batya saberengo biwandikidde wano The Lion and the Masai Warrior abokamaliza ngenda nakonka some
nemba gamba Masai Warrior alumye empologoma naye ku Luno Masai Warrior tajja kuona empologoma
tugende asokodde katono
nabaganti mu
Masai Warrior ku Luno
nabaganti mu gwanga muzimu
alumbye empologoma
nabaganti waliwo Masai Warrior alumbye empologoma nabagamba nti I now come to the final part of my submission. The title of this book is The Lion and the Masai Warrior. As a mass communicator, I use similes that can ably illustrate my point to ordinary folks. Unlike their brothers, the Kalamajongo, the Masai share the territory with the lions, and for their reason, is the Anubaseka National Park. They They developed skills to disarm the king of the jungle without using sophisticated weapons. A Masai warrior armed with a rungu, short stick, can ably confront a lion and causes it from and chases it from its prey. The lion runs away, leaving the carcass to the Masai. But how do they do it? The Maasai studied the behavior of the lion. The mood of the lion depends on the reaction of its intended prey. Lions are not used to surprises. Lions are used to seeing other animals flee when they show up. Why do lions fear Maasais and hyenas? A hyena's liver is poisonous, and eating it leads to instant death. This is why lions fear hyenas. There is a strong belief among the Baganda that the hyenas are maternal uncles of the lions, and that's why they accord each other respect the same way a Muganda respects relatives from his mother's side. On the other hand, a Masai warrior is trained to tame lions. It is believed that since lions do not expect to be challenged by any other animal, they take a longer time to recover once they are confronted. Secondly, a lion does not feed on dead animals. it also tests the health condition of its prey by forcing into a race. This is why the lion startles a herd of antelopes before it identifies the target prey. Empologoma mala kanga chintu. Empologoma tiri chigudde, tiri chifu. Kakati nenkugamba. Kani Museveni temu this Masai warrior. Nenkugamba. In my book, Who Keeps Museveni in Power, I enumerated Museveni's attributes and how he defeats his enemies. Museveni is a myth. He is not even understood by many, and nobody can know his future plans. Even Museveni tamanyidwa ne bano banne.
Tebamutegeera.
Ate Mbabazi yalirwanye naye, Kateeka yalirwanye naye, Bidandisa yalirwanye naye.
Kubabo banne. Naye ate nabo tebamutegeera.
About mountain dwellers ne Roland. A person who stays on the mountain cannot see its apex. Omuntu ali mugundi mu barracks y'ensambya oba ewa Dr. Kasimu Nakibingi omanyintala muzikiti gw'ekibuli omuntu ali wano
fabali eno fe tukulembera eri
you have to be kati omukulembeza alinga lusozi abamulinaanye tebamulaba
tebamutegeera
balolandi be bamutegeera
be bamulaba ne bamutegeera
ndi amumanyi Kateeka yamumanyi Yugundi amumanyi Lwabwoga amumanyi tebamumanyi because they are near the mountain. Nakugamba Museveni detects enemies from far, takes a long time to act. He lures the snakes out of their holes. For example, he watches Yamama and Mbabazi's activities for a long time until the fall of the hammer. I always ask people, for Museveni to strike a deal with the Galuga, Mbabazi's political rival, and the dropping of Mbabazi, what came first? Museveni directed the officials of NADS to inject billions of shillings into Kaluga's tea business even before dealing with Mbabazi. Museveni also promoted Henry Tumukunde to Lieutenant General. Then it was an energized Tumukunde who fought Mbabazi. Tumanyi Tumukunde yasula helicopter mu lale ya Mbabazi nakwata amakutiyaga sente n'agenda
mu 2016.
Yes. Yena afulumya nagirekanga n'okutokota naye bamujimba olujimba sebaddukanya musibe naawe oboli omanye ennaku emu ejira ku board endala n'ejira mu bus endala ku nnyonyi
nga bwe tusiibula bwe teekateeka okuva wano Tamale.
Museveni also did not listen to complaints about General Kayihura until the fall of the hammer. He sacked his younger brother Sale from the position of Army Commander and from the office of State Minister for Finance. Museveni surrendered his in-law, Alice Kaboyo, when she found herself caught up in the Gavi funds scandal. Kaboyo was seen carrying a mattress to Luzira prison. If Museveni opened on live television disagreed with his wife on the reopening of schools during COVID. A story he told of his close relative who stole his cows, and Museveni reportedly surrendered the man for law enforcement officers for prosecution. It is rumored that Museveni's father, the late Mzee Amos Kaguta, saved the man by taking a hunger strike. Tasaga nabaga nti kuluno Masai bamutwala nalabye emisinde mu office ku byuma byange naye yasinde anti ngo buzze mu office bumalirize petition y'okuwabira akalu society ngalabikaji dusitsa omunene omwe yabaddaze yasanze ono bamaze omwetikawo ng'ekinywa ky'enku naye ono omunene omulala yavuze emmotoka kafuufu bwe yatuuse ewuwe emmotoka nazeegera nakkamundagi nakka mu banka bwazibye tapamanga tafuka obwedda mulamu gamumukidde mu banka kubaolidde byabaddeyo
eyo reality film
bayodde omusajja mu office kaka tunakawandika
kyogamba mboze tabawabirwa Tamale
kyovola bakugamba mu Mirundi ne Museveni kasaba negatta bwe bati ne begatibwa kola bwe bavuma mukasaba negattibwa kyovola ne gundi bamuwabidde balamu towulya bagambye bwe begatibwa ko li balamu siru naye abantu bagenda muwoza abakikubye tewalidde nga boogera kakati nze njagala
muli mukutembeeta kintu kyammwe kya muwozi
njagala ntegeere
nti
amaloboozi ago gaanika wala ggwe natonnawanika mpali
tomukakkanya
amaloboozi gaani
nedda Tamale
amaloboozi ago gaani somebody must own these voices before this kapali woman calls me to our office
nedda
omulasha nga bamufungula namugamba obwana buyingidde
omulasha ina Maria Paul jawambye eri mu Donabas yonna Luhanski Donetski ebyo byonna binyezezza
ate bannanga olumba olukuva ennyuma olumba nga lukuvudde ennyuma anti olagayo munno
example z'oliita zonna
obwana ogenda bulaga ba Mosiko
buluwa
bugenda kufubutukira Mosiko
Putin yaise bajje no bonna Luno kati kino kyaga full scale wo tekyali operation
Amini yaleka ku State House entebe ngagambye basajja beyenga dduka bwe muvaawo wano State House ne bagiwamba n'enkomawo kozi yenga atemye Saddam yabeeranga munda akinga yekukumi kale Saddam yavumanga Bikira Maria yagamba bamusanga ku bifane ku kabuliye kuliko bifane bya Bikira naye teyamuyamba nze nkubulira bwe tusoma psychology batugamba a man who can kill himself is a fool
omwami asobola okwetta
tasobola kwetta ojjamula banga abaserikale be bamuwambye ngali hege
ni Putin
cannot kill himself
Putin
is not a fool is only a fool who kills himself
Putin nga ina amani
Saddam yali
nuclear warheads ze yasitudde sawa yonna ensegenda kankana
baganda bakugamba nti abana bakubuuza nti jjajja kimiki omugajjeyo gwayo tiagenda kukuba mmese bukuleini nekugambiza ngenda bikwateko nedda likaddawo kwekalakasa bikwateko esegwewo n'olwo olutalo
nuclear warheads
abikwateko
agenda bisumulula
mwaboogera naye alinda ki
ni Sonko yayogera ne Putin
Sonko mwaboogera naye
beera bulungi
very, very fast. So we are looking at the budget. It is a very, very big budget. A very big budget. But remember, there are certain situations without incurring the actual, without incurring the actual activities on the ground. Yes, it will be a tax. It will be a great task. It will be a very, very great task. So it is upon you. You talk to your people and tell them exactly what is supposed to be done. The moment we are allowing failure at this time, we are going to regret because these people are here for just this reason. If we do not harvest all the money we need at this moment, we are going to be troubled. If we don't allow it to happen as soon as possible, we are going to be troubled. Let me tell you, the moment this money goes away and we have not concluded anything, there is no way we are going to get this kind of money. There is simply no place where we are going to get this money. So, we should think wisely, think widely, and be intelligent towards what we are supposed to be doing. Me, I do understand the situation. Correctly, I get the whole idea. Flamboyantly, I know we are going to succeed. Success is upon us. When we look at the prosecution side, I believe they know what they want. They know we are not the only one in the planet doing this business. But if it has been done in an illicit way, it can be rebuked, rebuilt, and made legitimate. And it is the most important thing that we have to be looking at this moment. Of course, we have domestic battles, and everybody knows about it. And firstly, we are going to talk about the media. When you look at what Tamale Mirundi is doing, is re-emphasizing the whole plot to make sure that this battle extends and expands beyond the limits. It's something I wouldn't like. But if he chooses to do that, I know, still it is going to be settled. Without upheavals, without rubbing of shoulders, and things of the like. So the whole thing is upon who is responsible for what, and that is what we are looking at. I'm not ready to waste a lot of time with in the battles and running battles, especially with these media people. Me, I only want to appear in front of the camera when I'm presenting a rational agenda about our political system, about the financial systems, about the economic welfare of the country. That is what I'm looking at. I don't care about who wishes to become the next president, and I don't care the person president presents to preside over the national affairs after his reign. I really don't care. But the most important thing that we have to address right now is the financial future, the social security future, the safety future. I mean, things of the like. But we should not have a lot to waste the time with. We should always align with our own decisions. We should always think better, think wider, and actually agree to remain very important people in our auspice, in our cinders. There is no room for comfort zones. If anybody thinks that we have created the hegemony at this moment, they should think better, because it seems the status quo is corrupting. And if nothing is done, and timely, we are going to be doomed. So we should always be thinking, and we should always be relating to the future for the better. Yes, actually, that's one of the things I've always been thinking about, particularly if you're going to talk about the future. Firstly, let me assure you this. Everybody is responsible for building their own future. Nobody's going to come around to tell you that to rectify this or that. But it is upon your personal inspiration, the inner compass that you have that is really directing you towards the future. It gives you the trajectory to envision your future. And that is what we are looking at. So currently, we have seen all the situations around. And I don't think we are about to lose any steps. We are moving side by side with the situation. But what still misses today is balancing between the finances, balancing between the political struggles, and looking at the status quo vis-a-vis the opposition that is rising and trying to shine and overshadow the status quo. I believe President Museveni is one of the best politicians on the earth, one of the best strategists on the planet. But what is left of us? He knows how to manipulate, he knows how to maneuver, he knows how to diffuse any kind of resistances that may arise from the opposition, especially if the military and police are very present to mitigate all the projects, all the plans, all the programs that the opposition, especially in the areas of activism, they can't ever create. So that is an advantage politically. I normally look and listen to your ideologies. They are very good, very important. They very well fit the psyche of the elites. But the common man out there does not understand you. The common man who survives by hand to mouth, but not get the intellectualism of whatever you do, of whatever your ideas are. You're just feeding about 10% of the population. The 90% don't care. They don't care. And those are the people Museveni understands best. Those are the people who Afanda Moses is now looking at. The 90%, the 10% of the sane and top brass brains, yes, they do exist. And they will really appreciate and they will love you. They will give you full support. But if the 90% are not with you, it is game over. That is normally what I look at. So maybe that is normally why most of the people have been telling me that if you look at Tamale Mirundi's strategy, he will campaign for someone you don't like, but you will enjoy listening to him, and subconsciously you get convinced to even support your enemy. should I say, that is the advantage Tamale Mirundi has. Exactly, we really don't have to explain that. Tamale Mirundi is a person who captures all the percentages. The 100%. He can bring a point, give us the rational reasoning for any errant person to understand, for any intellectual person to understand, and then subsidizes it with in a layman's language, in a layman's explanation, to make it understood by even the communist man who has never gone to school but can listen to the local dialect. So that is what we call a foundation strategy. Tamale himself is a product. Tamale himself is an asset. And politicians, more so, strategic politicians like Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, need people like Tamale Mirundi. And let me tell you this frankly, if the two Rayas together, that is Tamale Mirundi, Mwoske Nerugaba, and you get crazy men like Barambara Gahari, you're going to see something very different, very unimaginable. You're going to see hordes of people following, running after Muhoza, and everybody will wonder where such support would have risen from. Look at his political crowd and his media following. It is giving him the ultimate value of a political asset. So we should always think about those things and not ignore anything. So I normally tell you that whatever happens, please try to be as very intelligent and focused as possible, because a single mistake can derail the entire situation. So whatever activities are taking place between now and then, when we have our colleagues from Tanzania, from Canada, from Europe, we should be very calculative of what happens and what breaks into the media. Some things simply need to be ignored. Let us not rush into battles that are going to simply do nothing but deconstruct everything we have put in place. And it's really very important for us to understand. Yes, exactly. I understand that. So, would I say that you can help me lead the way? Obviously I can. Then that is going to be very good. And to be very particular, what do we do? Because I was talking to Abbas, who was telling me, Council Abbas was telling me the thing may not be good. The repercussions may be a heavier price.